Hey vinyl community, it's Michael. Welcome back to Near Wild Heaven. What's playing right now, this is Dwight Twilley Band, Sincerely, the first album, and the song that was playing is I'm on Fire. Really great stuff from Dwight Twilley, power pop, really good stuff. Turn this down more. So today's video is going to be 15 albums from 1976. I got some punk, I got some hard rock, some mainstream stuff, and a few off-the-wall things. So we'll jump right into it. And first up, this is the Patti Smith Group, Radio Ethiopia. Great album. This is the second album. This was a little bit more experimental than her first album, especially on the song Radio Ethiopia. It's like a long track. It's like really spaced out and stuff. Pretty good. But other songs on here that are great are like Ask the Angels, really good straightforward punk song. Ain't It Strange, Poppies, Pissing in a River, Pumping My Heart, Distant Fingers. All of it's just great stuff from Patti Smith Group. If you like Patti Smith and you don't know about this album, check it out. It's great stuff. And up next, more punk with the Ramones and their first album. These guys were the second band to release an album of the CBGB's gang, and with Patti Smith being the first. But yeah, this is really good. I love the Ramones. They have such great songs. Blitzkrieg Bbop is fantastic. Beat on the Brat. Judy is a Punk. I Want to Be Your Boyfriend. I love the 60s sounding melodies that they have in here. You listen to this and it reminds you of like the Beach Boys and, you know, AM radio and stuff like that. But yeah, great stuff from the Ramones, their first album, self-titled. And up next, this is Blondie, another CBGB's alumni. This is their first album. This is a reissue. The original one, the original press of this came out on a label called Private Stock. And this is a reissue on Chrysalis Records. But yeah, there's some great stuff on here too. Ex-Offender, Little Girl Lies, In the Flesh, Look Good in Blue, In the Sun, A Shark in Jet's Clothing. There's all really good stuff from Blondie. Even though they were like looked on as like a lesser group than the others, like Ramones and Patti Smith and all them, they were one of the more successful bands to come out of CBGB's. They had a pretty long, successful career. But yeah, this is great stuff. Blondie's first album. Fantastic stuff. Up next, this is Black Sabbath, Technical Ecstasy. I'm not sure which number this is in their discography. I think it may be their 6th album. I could be wrong on that. But this one's not quite as good as their earlier albums. There is some shit going on between the band members, especially Ozzy and the others. So there was a lot of tension during this, and I guess it just doesn't really add up like the other ones do. But still, there is some good songs on here. So I got it because I want to have all the Black Sabbath that has Ozzy. But yeah, it's not bad. Rock and Roll Doctor is a pretty good song, and You Won't Change Me, Backstreet Kids, Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not their greatest, but it's pretty good. I like to listen to this one once in a while. There you go, Black Sabbath, Technical Ecstasy. And up next, this is Scorpions in Trance. I'm not a huge Scorpions fan, except, in fact, this is the only one that I have by them. But it's pretty good. I think this was like their transition album, where they were making more of a headway into being more commercially acceptable. But yeah, it's pretty good. The opening track, Dark Lady, is pretty good. In Trance, the title song, is great. Robot Man, Evening Wind, Sun in My Hand, Longing for Fire, Living and Dying, all pretty good stuff. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Scorpions fan, but I do like this album. So there you go, Scorpions in Trance. And up next, this is Led Zeppelin Presents. This isn't like one of their most popular albums. It's not very popular among Led Zeppelin fans, but it's not bad. I think there's some pretty good stuff on here. It's not like my favorite Zepp album or anything, but it's got some pretty good songs on it. Like Achilles' Last Stand is really good. Royal Orleans is really good, like a long jam type song. And Nobody's Fault But Mine is good. Hot's On for Nowhere and T for One. Fairly decent album. Like I said, it's not their best, but it's not their worst either. So, yeah, there you go, Led Zeppelin Presents. And up next, this is Budgy Bandelier. I really like this band. They're very underrated. I do notice that there's more and more people that seem to be showing these albums. So maybe they are starting to get a little bit more love. But yeah, this is really good. Breaking all the house rules and learning all the house rules. The opening track is just fantastic. Slip Away, A Parrot Fashion Ball, Who Do You Want for Your Love, Never Turn Your Back on a Friend. It's so good. Just great stuff. Bert Shelley, the bass guitar and lead vocals, he sounds a lot like Geddy Lee of Rush. But the guitarist on here, the lead guitar guy, Tony Borge, I believe that's how he pronounced his name, he's just fantastic. So, yeah, Budgy, very underrated, overlooked band. If you don't know about Budgy, like hard rock, especially 70s hard rock, check this band out. Budgy Bandelier. And up next, this is Blue Oyster Cult, Agents of Fortune. This contains their massive hit, Don't Fear the Reaper, plus some other great songs like This Ain't the Summer of Love. The opening track is just fantastic. True Confessions, Don't Fear the Reaper, Extraterrestrial Intelligence, The Revenge of Vera Gemini, Sinful Love, Tattoo Vampire, Morning Final, Tenderloin, and Debbie Denise. Great album from Blue Oyster Cult. These guys were one of my favorite bands back in the 70s when I was like in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s. This band could do no wrong for me. But yeah, everybody knows this. Everybody knows Don't Fear the Reaper. A great album from Blue Oyster Cult, Agents of Fortune. And up next, this is Bbop Deluxe, Sunburst Finish. This was their third album. Yeah, it's another one. Bill Nelson, the guitarist in this band and vocalist, he's another guitarist that's like very underrated. Not enough people talk about him, but they put on a great show. I got to see them live a few times, and they were just fantastic and just great stuff. Great live band too. But this one's got the song "Fair Exchange" is just fantastic. "Ships in the Night," that was like, I guess that was released as a single in the UK and Europe, and it did pretty well, but it was never released as a single over here. But other songs, "Blazing Apostles" is just fantastic, another great song. But yeah, Bbop Deluxe, Sunburst Finish, great album, great band. And up next, this is Hawkwind. Actually, this is the front cover, and this is the back cover. But I like, this should have been the front. But anyway, this is Hawkwind's maybe 7th or 8th album. They were beginning to change their sound a little bit. They were still more like spacey, but I don't know, there was just a different sound to it. They had like lineup changes, which probably caused a lot of the differences. But yeah, this is still a great album. Songs like "Reefer Madness," "Steppenwolf," "City of Lagoons," "Curb Crawler," "K-Do Flyer," "Chronoglide Skyway." Great stuff from Hawkwind. And this is on one of my favorite labels. This is the Famous Charisma label, with the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. But yeah, really good stuff from Hawkwind. Like I said, a little bit different than what they were doing previously, but still a great album. The name of the album is Astounding Sounds, Amazing Music. So there you go, Hawkwind. Up next, this is the Flamin Groovies, "Shake Some Action." Man, the title song of this is like one of my favorite songs ever. It's so good. But yeah, songs like "St. Louis Blues," "You Tore Me Down," "Let the Boy Rock and Roll," "Don't You Lie to Me," "She Said Yeah." That was covered by the Rolling Stones too, I think, on the Rolling Stones Now album. But yeah, this is like a mix of 60s covers and some originals. But the song "Shake Some Action" for me on this album just overshadows all the other songs because it's just so good. But the whole album is really, really good. So there you go, Flamin Groovies, "Shake Some Action." And up next, this next few albums are going to be a little more mainstream stuff. But this is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, their first album. When I first heard this, man, I just fell in love with the song "Strangered in the Night" is really good, and "Breakdown." Those two songs are the first things I heard, and it really blew me away, and they were just so good. But this whole album is pretty good. Starting out with "Rockin' Around with You," "Breakdown," "Hometown Blues," "A Wild One Forever," anything that's rock and roll, "Strangered in the Night," Fooled Again. Oh, that's the other one. It wasn't Stranger in the Night, it was Fooled Again. That's the song that really got me interested in getting this album. Mystery Man, Luna, and American Girl. There's some birds-like sounds on here, guitar sounds on here. Tom Petty was a big Birds fan. But yeah, a great debut album from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Really good stuff. Up next, this is Steve Miller, the Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle. Classic rock. I'm pretty sure this was the one that sent him into the stratosphere there for a while. But yeah, not bad. This is good top 40 rock and roll. It's great stuff. Steve Miller's earlier albums are like psychedelic and just really good, bluesy, psychedelic. But starting with the album The Joker, he went more commercial. And he was still pretty good though. Some of the later ones, like after the Book of Dreams album, after that one, I started getting a little bit tired of listening to those albums. But his earlier stuff is really good. And middle periods like this and The Joker, it's just great stuff. Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle. And a couple more here. Up next, this is Genesis, A Trick of the Tail. This is the first album after Peter Gabriel left and Phil Collins took over on vocals. I like this album. I think it sounds quite a bit like what they were doing with Peter Gabriel. But after this album, I started losing interest in them because I don't know, their change of direction when they went like top 40, I just lost all interest in them. But this one's pretty good, and I love all the ones with Peter Gabriel. They're so good, but this one's pretty good too. Songs like Dance on a Volcano, Entangled, Squonk, Madman Moon, Robbery, Assault and Battery, Ripples, A Trick of the Tail, all pretty good stuff. If you like Genesis, and you don't know about this album, check it out. Genesis, Trick of the Tail. And then the last album here, this is Funkadelic, Hardcore Jollies. I think this was their first album for Warner Brothers. But yeah, it's the usual funky stuff. Great songs on here. Osmosis Phase 1, Coming Round the Mountain. If you got funk, you got style. Soulmate, Cosmic Slot, You Scared the Lovin' Out of Me. All really great stuff. Also the great artwork inside and out of Funkadelic's albums. Always great stuff. Great band to listen to. There you go, Funkadelic, Hardcore Jollies. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks so much to everyone who's been subscribing lately. My subs are going up more and more. Thanks to everyone who leaves comments. I hope everybody's enjoying your upcoming weekend and listening to the music you love. And that'll be it for this week, and I'll see you next week.